All right, welcome back to Getting Sober, again. My name is Jay, and today we're gonna ask the question, which is, why is it that we think we wanna have a drink? But first, if you care about your own sobriety journey as much as we do, we have over 700 videos on the topics of sobriety and self-improvement. So make sure that you're subscribed to this channel. All right, let's get started. Well, first and foremost, why I believe that we think we wanna have a drink is because whenever we feel the pressure of life, we want to be relieved of that pressure. On top of that, it seems like everyone else is doing it, so why can't I? Why shouldn't I? Is it really that big of a deal? I mean, the grocery store sells alcohol, the gas station sells alcohol, even Walgreens and CVS both sell alcohol. Every restaurant and place of entertainment bases their business around alcohol. It's how everybody seems to celebrate, to relax, unwind, de-stress from a long, hard day. It's how adults have fun. It's what we do when we go on a date, when we go to a wedding, or when we go on vacation. It's what we do when we get off work, when we put the kids to bed, when we see our family for the holidays, when we go out for brunch on the weekends, or when we go out to dinner with friends. It's how we cope with a breakup or a divorce, when we lose our job or somebody that's close to us. We think we want to drink because it's what we do and it's what we've always done. In other words, alcohol use is highly normalized, and we allowed ourselves to be conditioned to alcohol use. At first, maybe when you were young, it was an act of rebellion. It's what the cool kids did. It's what you did in college when you were away from home from the first time. It's what you did after college to celebrate that first job or internship. And when you got your first job, it's how you celebrate after work with your new coworkers. It's what your favorite athletes do in the locker room after they win the championship. It's what they're doing in music videos and movies and TV shows, and in the commercials in between all of your favorite shows. And all of this to say is that it's systematic cultural brainwashing. You'll even hear people regurgitate old information about how red wine is heart healthy, meanwhile ignoring the fact that alcohol itself is bad for your heart. Saying that red wine is healthy is kind of like saying that steel bullets are healthier than lead bullets because steel is less toxic than lead to the victim after getting shot. When it comes to wine being healthy, check out this quote by Dr. David Sinclair, professor of genetics at Harvard Medical School. You would need to drink 100 to 1,000 glasses of red wine to equal the doses of resveratrol to improve health. And you don't need to be a doctor to know what would happen if you drank 1,000 glasses of red wine. And again, I'll never be the one to say that alcohol by itself is bad or that people can't drink in moderation. But for people like us, we know that the best amount of alcohol is no alcohol. If you've seen our videos before, we always love to give you a fresh perspective of your drinking habits. Now, why is that so important? It's important because any one of us can become blind to whatever situation we find ourselves in. We get used to the years of traditions and we tend to accept what we're used to as just how it is and how it's always gonna be. And a lot of times we're just unwilling to see the truth. Especially when we find ourselves wanting to believe that we don't have a problem and that our alcohol use can be manageable. We'll try everything to get sober except for quit drinking alcohol. And again, sometimes what we believe interferes with whatever the truth actually is. We want to get a buzz, and we want to believe that red wine is healthy. So we compromise our ability to think critically and logically, and willfully blind ourselves in accepting bad information as truth. And also, too, for a lot of us, we just want to belong. We don't want to be alienated. We don't want to be labeled as having a drinking problem or for people to call us alcoholics behind our backs. And we have a hard time facing the possibility that if we stop drinking alcohol, that we would be the ones that would push the button of social alienation, which will lead us to making this major lifestyle change that maybe we aren't ready for. And maybe we're a little bit afraid to even try. We get ourselves trapped in a never-ending loop of self-sabotage out of fear and continue normalizing toxic behaviors because either by choice or by consequence, we just don't have any other tools. And grabbing a drink just seems like the easiest way to maybe numb the pain of a long, stressful day. We drink to ignore, to forget, to feel better, and maybe too to be a little rebellious. And when our lives get out of balance by our own efforts, our lives can feel pretty painful. These are exactly the toxic thoughts and behaviors that can be passed down from generation to generation. especially when we see the people that we love suffer while just struggling to get through their days. And when your life is out of balance with alcohol, drugs, or any other addictions, we find ourselves depending on self-medicating to feel better. We start to get addicted to the excitement of uncertainty. We start to embrace chaos, unreliability, and disorder. We romanticize cheating death and leaning on the invincibility of our youth, and thinking that we'll never have to pay our dues or pay the price for the reckless abandon that we've caused to our hearts, our liver, our kidneys, our pancreas, our brain, and our digestive system. We hope that we'll never get sick, that we'll never get old. And if and when we have health problems, that maybe it won't happen to me. And if getting sick does happen, maybe it won't be that bad. And then maybe I'll listen to my doctor. Or maybe you'll think that it's not my problem to deal with today, so why bother worrying? We just assume that we'll always be able to walk on our own 2 feet and that we'll always be able to keep a roof above our heads. And if I can't someday, well, that's tomorrow me's problem. There are even people in this community who feel like just because they make good money and have great lives that they can just afford to live whatever lifestyle they want because they believe that they can afford to pay for the remedy to those consequences. Because after all, there's nothing that modern medicine can't fix, right? But as we all know, our health is one of the only things, just like time, that once it's gone, you may never get it back. We learn certain behaviors from the world around us. And we may find ourselves just doing whatever it takes to fit in with our peers because at the end of the day, we all want to feel a little less stressed and a little bit more relaxed. We want to feel a little bit less depressed and a little bit more accepted. We want to feel a little less miserable and a little more loved. But let me ask you this question. If you're not willing to love yourself, whose job is it? Whose job is it to make you feel better about you? You. That's right. If you haven't watched our last video, it's titled Learn to Love Yourself First After Getting Sober. I'll put a link in the top corner of the screen. It's important to remember that none of us started life from the same starting line, and none of us started sobriety at the same age. Some of us are more or maybe less fortunate than others, but it's up to us to do the best that we can with our current situation, to get ourselves up to the next logical step in life, to prove to yourself that you're not too old, you're not too weak, but that you're capable of being more and doing more. Temptation is easy. Getting drunk is easy. It's so easy you can be homeless and still get drunk every single day. We think that we want to drink because we think that it's going to make us feel better. We think that we can escape whatever's making us feel uncomfortable in life. But just like watching TV, scrolling through social media, getting high, getting drunk, it's only a temporary distraction that doesn't solve any of our problems. And for a lot of us, it continues to add and introduce new problems into your life, new stress into your life, new drama into your life, new depression and anxiety into your life. It adds more paperwork to that mountain high stack of work that you're leaving for tomorrow you to handle someday. Because let's face it, when you pour yourself a drink at the end of the night, what are you really thinking? That you're done, over it, and clocking out today. Isn't that why we drink? Because we just feel like clocking out on our life's responsibilities. That paperwork will be there when you wake up. That bar tab, that argument, that embarrassing conversation, they'll all still be there when you wake up tomorrow. So it's time to start making your life work for you instead of to you. To stop feeling lost, helpless, out of control, and to start feeling more joy and more confidence, and to start trusting and believing in yourself, again. Remember, sobriety takes a lot of practice, but it also takes a lot of preparation, patience, and persistence. And if you want to watch a video on how to prepare for sobriety, click on the link in the top corner of the screen. And if you haven't yet, don't forget to show your support for everybody here in this sobriety community by giving this video a thumbs up. And we always love hearing from you, so don't forget to leave us a comment in the comment section down below. And tell us, why is it that you think that you want to have a drink? And if you're ready to binge watch another one of our videos, click the playlist in the top corner of the screen. And with that, I want to wish you good luck on your self-improvement journey, and I will see you in the next video. If you want to see another one of our videos, click here.